Okay, so on growing connections, you never know how they'll be made. Go ahead. So it all started with a little guy named Quinn. Quinn is on the left, and Graham's on the right. He's 22. Quinn's 24 now. So some of you met him. He's 6'4" now. And so very early on, I realized. So he was right about that time where the lights started dimming and he started fading away from us. And I knew that I needed to be the one to figure things out because I could see that everybody was just. I don't know what they were doing, but that was before the internet, people, for real. So I started going to conferences, and the first one I went to, Quinn was just 3, so it was only a year after that. Drove downtown Chicago by myself. Carrie, you might remember this. I went at 11 o'clock at night so I could stay overnight because I was with the kids all day, and got there at midnight. Go back. Oh, sorry. Go because I need my notes. I won't remember all my. One more back. Anyway, so I went to Tash and Nancy Brown, who a lot of you have met here, was talking, and I didn't know her then, and I remember hearing her talking about creating a vision. Who is this person? What are their gifts? When are they at their best? How do we help them be the best person they could be? And I literally felt like this is where I need to be. This is what I need to be thinking about doing. But then, like all of us, we go, oh, okay, and then you start going on another path where, we're trying to figure out other things like speech, stuff like that, important stuff, not important, I don't know. And sometimes you go, different ways. Anyway, but I remember calling Nancy and getting some tips from her on different things with inclusion. But TASH is an organization about inclusion, and they come to Illinois every couple of years. So, and then I met Kathy, who floated in on a cloud from Hawaii to start a small, actually not small, a statewide autism grant to help people that are in schools to think about and learn about, inclusion, literacy, communication support, friendship, dignity, choice, all those things that a lot of kids learn in school, but if you have a label, or if you look a different way, those things were not afforded to you. So I'll stop there. And then I did have to take my son out of school for a couple of years and support him, but what helped me kind of re-enter the world was there was another council grant funded that had to do with microboards, which essentially is about person-centered planning. And some of you may have heard that word, and I will tell you that there are many more layers than what are currently going on about what's authentic person-centered planning. So, like all of us, you can call something, and it isn't always it. So we want to do a good job. We want to do a quality job. So person-centered planning, I take very seriously. Kathy takes very seriously. Sure, those we take that very seriously in our work and in our lives. But the council funded that. They fund innovative programs. That was a springboard for me to learn about that, and it was a vibrant way to bring dreaming together and put it into action. So it's not just a bunch of nice ideas. It's that uncomfortable part of figuring out how do you make some of this stuff work. I got to close a state-operated developmental center, so I got to learn what doesn't work. And I also got to learn what's the nightmare. What do we want to avoid? And that was very motivating for me as well. Hi, welcome. Okay. Yeah, go on and have a seat. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Okay, next thing. That's okay. So there's just Quinn inclusion, so some cute pictures. He had curly hair,
That's when I met him.
Yeah. This is the part of the grant that Kathy was really helped me, equip me with how to help him be included in school. So it was very helpful. But at the heart of it all, like you said, it's about relationships. Community is about relationships. That's about everything about we're doing. Money's awesome. Work is awesome, but what we want to do is help people find relationships, and it's like all of us, it takes time and lots of layers. So here's Quinn with some of his lady friends. Sorry. So you can go back.
It's all about the girls.
Yeah, it's all about the girls for Quinn. Yeah. So they're all in college now, and you know what? It's kind of sad because some of them aren't coming home this summer. But you know what? Sometimes that's what life. Sometimes life, your heart's a little bit sad, but you learn things and you grow. Or you go visit them. We might go visit. We go visit them some of the time too. So anyway, relationships. Go ahead, quick. But at also just, what person do you see? So it's about seeing gifts. Who do you see? So here are just some, I was gonna add some more pictures, but, you know, who is this person? Quinn is a gardener, a brother, a pet owner, an apple tree grower. He rides a recumbent bike. He loves swing dancing. He works at Home Depot a couple hours a week, just in the summertime. He takes pottery class. He's a gatherer of people. That's really his number one vision. We need to figure out how to make that into something, because that's all he wants to do is talk about people, invite people, and have parties. Parties, parties, parties. Bonfire parties. Yeah, it's exhausting. He's a son, a brother, a presenter of many conferences. He's an uncle. He's a hugger. He's a major. That's like a big gift. So anyway, you know, which person do we always want to kind of look through that lens. I had somebody once ask me when we were interviewing them to work with Quinn, what's the worst thing he ever did? And I'll never forget that moment. And I really wanted to say, what's the worst thing you ever did? But instead of that, let's look at who is this person and what do they give? And the more that we look at what the good things are, that other stuff can get smaller. It really, really does. We can't always focus on that. So anyway, here are a few stories. The council funded an initiative that Heroes of the Game was doing before this one, okay? And so we had about 20 young adults in Northwest Illinois. So I'm going to go through this really fast. We got like 2 minutes, 1 minute. Okay, so Derek is a young man, very sweet. Took a long time to get to know him a little bit, okay? He lived with his mom for many years, and she died, and he had no other family. And so he's living in a group home, and he was introduced to me through somebody that was on Quinn's microboard that said, this guy needs some community. And so I got to know him, and we had to spend a lot of time together. And so some of the things we did were volunteering at a library, volunteering at a school, volunteering at an office. We started joining an Italian club where they had food. We try not to have our events be around food, because sometimes we get distracted by that, and then it just becomes about consuming. And like you guys all know, you've heard me say, we don't want to be, you know, we want to be citizens of a community. We don't want to be clients of a system. We want to be citizens. How do we contribute? Where can we give, right? So, you know, but because it was really difficult to get, he was very quiet, and so I just was really struggling with what can we do. So we would go and we were trying to have him maybe volunteer at this Italian club. It was like a fish fry place, right? But there were different events and things they had there. So we went a couple of times. But he did end up getting invited to a party. But still, the office work and the volunteering, I was like, I don't know where I'm going with this. And one of my mentors, Tom Kohler, came out and did a big workshop for us. He's been doing this work for 30 years. And he said to me, what do you think he wants, Wendy? And I remember thinking, okay, this is the question. And I'm like, okay, why am I at, he wants people in his life. He has no people. So then I had to step back and think, okay, how can he share time and space with people outside of paid people in his life?